The goat and the girl. The goat and the girl are connected by a black mass. The goat and the girl are connected by an ebony darkness. The dark powers connect the two. The powers of darkness bind the two. The goat and the girl. The girl and the goat. The two are bound by a force of evil, a force of depravity. The blackness, the darkness, the emptiness of the unknown, the blackness of the abyss, the void of the unthinkable, the absence of light, the absence of hope. The goat and the girl, the dark powers binding the goat and the girl, the black and white powers that are binding the girl and the goat together, the black and white power, the sin and virtue, the dark and the light, they bind the goat and the girl together. The balance between light and dark, the balance between good and evil, the balance between sin and virtue. It binds the goat and the girl together. Balance, the balance between the goat and the girl, the two opposites, the two forces that are bound together, the goat and the girl, the yin and the yang, the light and the dark, and the dark and the light, in perfect harmony, in perfect balance. The goat and the girl, the balance between the girl and the goat, the light and the dark, the sin and the virtue. The goat and the girl are bound by the symbols of balance. The balance between good and evil, the balance between light and dark, between black and white, the balance between sin and virtue. Light and dark, sin and virtue, the sin binding the goat and the girl together, the virtue binding the goat and the girl together, the goat, the girl, bound together by the balance that is binding the goat and the girl, the balance between the black and the white, the balance between sin and compassion, the balance between darkness and goodness. Balance between the dark and the light, balance between the good and the evil, balance between the black and the white, balance between the sin and the virtue, balance between these opposites, balance between the goat and the girl. Food and blood mixing together to create something new. The goat and the girl mixing together to create something new. Food and blood are mixing together to create something special. The meal, the special meal, the dinner, it contains blood. It contains blood, goat, and fruit, the fruit that was in the basket, the fruit that was delivered, the fruit that spilled and soaked it all, the fruit that was mixed with blood, the fruit that was blended in with a bloody mess. Blood with no owner, blood with no body, just blood. A mixing bowl, mixed together to create something special. The goat and the girl are also mixed together. The girl girl's blood mixing together in a bowl. The snake and the girl mixed together with the black and white, mixed together with the dark and the light. The snake and the girl, they are blended together to create something new, something that is beyond my comprehension. The paradox that will cause chaos and confusion, the chaos and confusion that will create the snake of blood and sin that will come into existence with this ritual. A paradox of existence, a paradox of reality, a paradox of space and time, a paradox of life and death. This is a paradox, the paradox serpentine, the paradox that must be created. The paradox is created, the paradox serpentine is created, the paradox that must exist, it exists, it has come into existence, this paradox that must be made real exists, the paradox that will exist and will always exist.